So for question 9, it says a concrete mixture contains cement, sand and gravel in the ratio of 1:3. What is the weight of the concrete contains? What weight of concrete contains 36 kilograms of gravel? So remember, all of this makes concrete. And we're looking at 36 kilograms of gravel. So if you have 36 kilograms of gravel, this is what you need to make the concrete. So you can see that 3, you've multiplied by 12 here. From this 3, it's 3 times 12 is 36. Or you could have done 36 divided by 3 would give you 12. What that means is you times everything by 12 and in these ratios. So 2 times 12 is 24 and 1 times 12 is 12. And what you do at the end is basically to find out how much concrete you could have is 12 plus 24 plus 36, and that's 72 kilograms of concrete you could make from that. So work out the weight of sand contained in 198 kilograms of concrete. So it's giving you the full concrete here. And what you would do here is you would add your ratios up. So it's 1, 2, and 3. So that's 6 parts we have all together. So what we do is we take the 198 and divide by 6, which gives us 33 kilograms. Now this is 1 part. So if we've got 1 part and it's asking for the weight of the sand, so we look where the sand is. The sand is the ratio 2. So that's 2 parts of sand. So we can multiply 33 by 2, which is 66 kilograms. So Phil changed €230 into pounds and Jerry changed 168 euros into pounds. The exchange rate is £1 is equal to €1.09. How much more did Phil receive in pounds? So the first thing that we do is we change everything to pounds. So we can see that €230, if we divide 230 divided by 1.09, we'll get it in pounds. So that's £211. And we'll do the same for Jerry. So it's 168 divided by 1.09, which gives us £154.12. Now the question is asked, how much more did Phil receive in pounds? So what we have to do is find the difference. So it's 211 take away £154.12, and that's what we get, 56.88, and that is the answer. So for this one, it's a rotation. It says rotate the triangle 90 degrees anti-clockwise about the origin, 0, 0. So the first thing you would do, we get tracing paper, and we would mark where the origin is, which is 0, 0. And I would just do a little cross here. And then we would draw on the tracing paper this shape. We'd put our pencil or pen on this point here, and we would rotate it or spin it around to the left here. And it would be a quarter turn for this one. So if quarter turn, it should land here, and what we do is we just draw where it lands. So question 12, it says Marie has a recipe for spaghetti carbonara which requires the following ingredients. So we've got the ingredients there. Marie only has 150 grams of bacon. Work out how much of the other ingredients she should use. So the first thing to do is to find out, we've got like 150 divided by 200. So the bacon is 200 grams, and we find out it's 3/4, and that would be 0.75. So we've basically got a multiplier that we can use. So when we look to changing all of these, you can see that all I've done is multiplied to 0.75 with everything here on this menu or ingredients. So what you should have is all of these. So 375, 6 eggs, 57 milliliters, and 36 grams. So for this one, it's a pentagon. This one here has got 5 sides. So this one is a pentagon. What we're looking for is the angle next to the A. That's what we're aiming to get so we can work out what A is. So the first thing that we kind of do is we work out that we know that it's a pentagon because it's got 5 sides, and it's 3 times 180. Now where that comes from is if you've got 5-sided pentagon, then you take away the sides, take away 2 from the sides. So that would be 5 take away 2, which is 3, and then you would multiply it by 180. So that's where the 3 came in. It was 5 sides take away 2, which was the 3. So now we know that it's 540 that all of these inside this pentagon would add up to. The next step is to add all the angles up that you do know of. It's 129, all of these 4 angles there, and we get 479. With that 479, we do 540, take away that number, which is 61. So the missing angle inside the pentagon is 61, so that's next to the A, and that's what we were looking for. So the next step is really, because this is a straight line here, between the A and the 61, those 2 angles would add up to 180. So that means we have to do 180 take away 61, which is 119. And that's the answer for that one. Question 14 is a trial and improvement question. And it's got the equation here of x cubed take away 3x equals 34. And it has a solution between 1 and 5. So we have to pick a number between 1 and 5 to start with. And then just work from there. So the first number I've picked really is 3. And what I do with this 3 is I substitute it into the x cubed take away 3x. And that's what's here. So 3 cubed take away 3 times 3 is 18. And when I check it against 34, I can see that that number here is too small. So the next one, I go to 4. And we substitute the 4 into that again, and we get the answer of 52. Check it with the 34, and it's too big. So we know the number is somewhere between 3 and 4. So when we move on, I kind of pick a number that's halfway between 3 and 4. So 3.5, we substitute it in, and we should get 32.375, which is too small compared to 34. And 3.6, we move up to 3.6, which is 35.856. Compare that with 34 and we find that is too big. Now we know that 3.5 is too small and 3.6 is too big, and the answer, or sorry, the question says give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So either 3.5 or 3.6 is the answer to this question. To find out more about it, we have to half it. So we go halfway in between 3.5 and 3.6, so 3.55, and substitute it in. And we can see it's too big for this one. Right, so next I've basically drew a little line here, a number line type of thing. So it's 3.5 on one end, 3.6 on the other, and in between that I've got 3.55. Now I've highlighted that it's too big for 3.55 and too big for 3.6 and too small for 3.5. As those 2 answers here are too big, then it's closer to 3.5. So that means the answer here to 1 decimal place is 3.5. So the final question in this paper is question 15, and it says when a spinner was spun 50 times, it landed on red 12 times. When spun another 50 times, it landed on red another 9 times. Calculate the relative frequency for red after the first 50 spins. So we can look at the first sentence here. First 50 spins, it landed on 12 times. So you can see there 12 out of 50. And then it's asking for calculate relative frequency for red after the 100 spins. So we add those up. If you add the 50 and 50, that's your 100 spins. So we add the 12 and 9. And what we should get is 21 out of 100. The spinner landed on yellow 40 times in the 100 spins. Estimate the probability for this spinner landing on yellow. So that basically just means that 40 out of 100, yellow will come up. So the last part of this, it says, estimate how many times the spinner will land on yellow in 300 spins. So the way I looked at it, this one here, is if it's 100 spins is 40 times it would crop up, then 200 spins it would be 80 times in total, and 300 spins it should be 120 times. So that is the answer, 120.